Hi, everybody. I'm going to go over a few of the questions on the review sheet to help you out for the test. I'm going to focus on this one, and this one. Okay? So hopefully that'll be helpful. The first thing you want to do is figure out what the parent function is. So I'm going to kind of talk about these at the same time. So you want to look and see what's raised to the power of x. So in this case, the parent function is going to be y equals 3 to the x. The parent function here is going to be y equals 2 to the x. And the parent function here is going to be y equals e to the x. That's how we're going to start on all of these. We're going to make a table for the parent function, and then we're going to see what the shift is, and we're going to translate each of the points according to the shift, and that's how we're going to graph it. Okay? So for most of these, -1, 0, and 1 are going to be the easiest. So if you do -1, you get 1/3, 0 is 1, and 1 is 3. And over here, same thing. We have -1, 0, and 1. So this is 1/2, this is 1, and this is 2. And then for E, you can put whatever, but what we've been using that makes it a little bit easier is 0, 1, and 2. So e to the 0 is just 1. E to the 1, remember, e is just 2.7 something. You can just round it to 2.7. And then when I take e squared, 2.7 squared, I get 7.4. Okay? So those are your parent functions. So now we have to see what the shifts are so that we can do the correct movement. So right here, whatever is on, if there's something on the outside, in this case, there's nothing, but whatever's on the outside, you multiply y by. So here, you're going to multiply the y coordinate by -2. Here, you're going to multiply the y coordinate by 3. Here, you don't multiply the y coordinate by anything. Okay? So I'm going to write this. I should have just done this here to begin with so there's more space, because it's a little tight over there. So I'm just going to rewrite this. Did not plan ahead very well. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to do red for whatever that is. So in this case, I'm going to multiply each of these by 2. Over here, I'm going to multiply each of these by 3. Okay, so that takes care of that. And now you want to see what's going on here. Because this goes up 1, you're going to plus 1 to the y coordinate. In this case, it's a -2. It goes down 2. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Because it goes down 2, then you're going to -1 from the y coordinate. And this does not have an up or down, so we don't have to do anything there. So here I'm going to add 1. Here I'm going to -1. Okay, we want to multiply first because of order of operations. Last but not least, we want to see if there's any left-right movement. So in this case, that's up here. There's nothing. It doesn't move to the right or to the left, so you don't have to do anything. On this one, it says +1. So that means it goes to the left 1. So you -1 from the x coordinate. And then over here, a -3 means it goes to the right 3. So we add 3 to the x coordinate. Remember, the x and the y is always opposite. So in this case, I'm going to add 1. Oh, whoops, sorry. I don't do anything on that one. Never mind. Here, I'm going to -1. So -1, -1, -1. And this one, you add 3. So +3, +3, +3. Okay. So now my final table, these stay the same because there was no left or right movement. So over here, I'm going to have 2/3 plus 1, which is 3/3, gives me 5/3. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. And 6 plus 1 is 7. Okay. All right. Oh, whoops. I messed up. This is a -2. I didn't see that little -2. Hold on, my numbers are wrong then. Let's fix that. Wow, I'm glad I caught that. So this is where if we were in class, you guys would be like, Miss Wade or Miss C, you did that wrong. Or maybe you wouldn't say anything. Who knows? So this is -2/3 plus 3/3 is 1/3. There we go. And then -2 plus 1 is a -1. And then -6 plus 1 is a -5. There we go. Be careful with those negatives so you don't forget them like I almost did. Now, because this goes up 1, I know that my asymptote is here. This is y equals 1. And then I'm going to graph this. So -1, 1/3. 0, -1, and 1, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that makes sense because normally it's exponential, but it has a reflection about the x-axis, so it should be down here below the the asymptote. Over here, let's do our math. Positive, positive, good, just checking. Easy to make that mistake. So over here, I'm minusing 1, so -1 minus 1 is a -2. 0 minus 1 is a -1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then over here, I get 3/2 minus 1, which is the same thing as 2/2. That gives me 1/2. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3, yep. And then 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay. Let's just make sure. Oh, whoops. Down 2. Oh my goodness. -2. Be nice if I could do math correctly, huh? See, these are all the little things that you guys probably will do wrong too if you're not careful. Okay, let's just fix that. So -2, so 4/2. So 3/2 minus 4/2 is -1/2. There we go. And then 3 minus 2 is 1, and 6 minus 2 is 4. Yay. Okay, it goes down 2, so let's put our asymptote down here at -2. On the test, make sure you label your asymptote. And then -2, -1/2, -1, 1, 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And boom, there's that one. Okay. It's funny because I wrote down 2, but then I wrote -1 there. Goodness. Okay, over here. So this one, we're moving to the right 3. I'm just double checking. 3, 4, and 5. And then nothing happens to the y because it doesn't move up or down. So those stay exactly the same. And because it doesn't move up or down, the asymptote does not translate. So it stays at y is equal to 0. And so 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2.7, 1, 2.7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.4-ish. And if you want, you can plug in 0. It's going to be 1/e³, and you get a very small decimal. That's fine too. You don't have to. You can just kind of estimate it there. So that's no big deal. Okay, so that's the end of the graphing review. At the bottom here, you guys know growth and decay. If the b is greater than 1, you know it's growth. And if b is less than 1, whoops, I can't see that. it's decay. All right, so the point here is you're basically looking at the base of your function. So E is 2.7. So since that's greater than 1, it's growth. 0.5 is less than 1, so it's decay. 5 is greater than 1, it's growth. And 1/2 is less than 1, so it is decay. Okay? All right. I'm going to go over one of these. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to pick this one because it has fractions in it. So that's the one I'm going to focus on. So this is an xy coordinate. And the whole point here is we want to take y equals a times b to the x, which is our exponential function. We want to write a system of equations because we know that these 2 points are on the graph, but we don't know what the growth rate is or the intercept, the initial value. We don't know any of those things. So we're going to write two equations, a system of equations. So I have 1/15 equals a b to the negative 1. That's that one. And this one gives us 25 over 3 equals a times b squared. Okay, so these are our two equations. What we want to do, because it's multiplication, it's a exponential equation. We can't just add them like we did with substitution and elimination when you did systems before. You're going to have to divide them. So the tip for dividing is you want to put the bigger exponent on top. Because if you do that, then when you subtract the exponents, you'll get a positive number. So the bigger one here happens to be 2, right? We want to compare those two different exponents. The 2 is bigger, so that's the one I'm going to put on the top. So I'm going to write 25 thirds equals a b squared. And then underneath it, I'm going to write 1/15 equals b to the negative 1. And in solving these, you want to divide. Okay, so when you divide, you're actually going to divide the fractions. The a's are going to cancel, and with the exponents, you're going to subtract them. So I'm going to just grab a little space from this other box here. So 25 thirds divided by 1/15 is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal, right? So I get 25 times 5, which is 125. Okay, and then so I get 125 is equal to, and then over here, 2 minus a negative 1 is equal to b cubed. Then I'm going to take the cube root, so I get b is 5. Now, once you know what b is, you're going to plug it into one of the other equations to get a. So I'm going to plug it into this one. So I'm going to have 25 thirds equals a. And instead of b, I'm going to put a 5. So that's 25. And when I divide both sides by 25, here I'll show the work. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 1/25. So a is equal to 3. So then your final answer is y equals, because we're putting it in this form. So a is 3. Sorry, 1/3. Woo, forgot the 1 there. Is 1/3. And then b is 5. Okay, so 1/3 times 5 to the x. All right, I'm going to stop this video and then I'm going to make another one for the backside with the word problems. So this isn't as long, and then you can watch the other video for the backside if you need help with that. All right, remember on the day of the test, don't forget to show your work on this. Don't forget to write the asymptote equation, which is y equals, and you're going to have to show the tables and show your work. You can't just draw a sloppy graph without an asymptote and without some points. You will not get full credit. So take the time to practice that, please. Okay, bye.